Name's Chuck.
I'm Lou. I'm the better looking of 204. Feeling a little better this morning.
I was going to say, you must be feeling better if you're the better looking this week.
Yeah, I finally got a doctor's appointment to follow up for my shoulder, and May 14th.
That's not too far away.
No, it's not. At least I got the appointment, and my doctor did what he said he was going to do.
All right.
So that's what's important to me.
Oh, most definitely. At least you got that appointment.
So sometimes, these doctors are pretty busy and they might forget or something like that. But so I'm waiting to see how it goes. But at least I don't have as much pain in it, in the shoulder as I was having. So
that's always important, because then you have to sleep on your different side and all that stuff, and you don't get a good night's sleep. Trust me, I know when Brenda's shoulder was out of whack, it affects everybody.
It usually takes me about an hour to 2 hours to go to sleep each night and finally find that comfortable spot. Then you move, then you wake up.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good game last night. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for the second season, I did not watch any last year because I was so put off by our experience with that previous league that we had. And you and I really got into the San Antonio Commanders. The Alamo Brewing Company, remember, they got really behind it. They had a special beer for it. They had chartered the buses from the brewery to take you to the game and back. You remember?
Yep, because that was a good. We went down and had a couple beers at the brewing company, then went to the game. That makes for a good experience.
Yes.
I was pleasantly pleased that with being Fiesta weekend or Fiesta in San Antonio, I thought we had a fairly good crowd there last night, considering all the other events in town that it was occurring at the same time.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I felt so let down by that league, the Alliance of American Football. I mean, San Antonio got into it. There was a lot of people at all those games. It was packed, and then all of a sudden the league just vanished.
Oh yeah, San Antonio had the best attendance of all the
all the other teams combined did not equal our attendance.
Yeah.
And you and I got behind it, and then it closed, and then there was a year or two before the next league started, and then it got absorbed, I think, by the UFL. I think I got to do my research, and they started last year, and I decided, hey, you know what? This year maybe I'll take my dad to a game or two. I did not know that this was going to be the last home game, but like you said, man, oh, what a great game, great product. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. You have really put together a great product, I think.
Yes, he has. And, and these fans from San Antonio, they get into it. It was fun watching. And that one woman was dressed out, or she was something else, wasn't she?
Yeah, we had people dressed up like luchadors, the Tejano singers with the whole outfit get up. People, at least half the crowd had on Brahma's gear, hats, T-shirts, jackets. And this is only their second year. I mean, these fans are showing up and showing out, and I got to give it to them. And you know what? Like I said, they put on a great product.
Yeah, everybody was having a good time. I just wish the beer price wasn't quite so high, but
it's not. You can live with it, because
they got to make money too.
Yeah, speaking of high prices, so you and I grabbed those little street tacos. You ordered the street tacos, I ordered street tacos, and we each ordered a beer. And then when you added the tip, how much was it?
$70.
$70, people.
Oh man.
And that's in San Antonio. Can you imagine what it's like in a major city?
Oh yeah.
Or even out west or east in like California or New York or Philadelphia or whatever? It would have been probably upwards of $100.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know how a family, like you said, can afford to do that kind of stuff on the regular.
But I tell you what, everybody was supporting them last night. You saw everybody, or I won't say everybody, but sure, with a lot of beer and a lot of hands and eating a lot of food and just having a good time. And that's, to me, that's what it was all about. When you can go someplace, enjoy yourself, and have a good time. Uh, our time that we spend together is very special to me. Sometimes it might not seem like it, or I don't get too excited. Like a couple times last night, you got pretty excited with plays and stuff like that. I guess because I'm getting old,
you know what? You just got to let go. Who gives a shit what somebody may think? Just get up and yell, holler, because a bunch of other people, they were hooting and hollering.
Oh yeah, everybody. Yeah, that doesn't bother me. It's just I've never been one
that kind of an expressive person
to do that kind of stuff. No particular reason, not but anyway, but it's fun.
The fans got loud. They were stomping and cheering when the other team was getting ready to hike the ball, and they were getting loud in there.
Yeah, one time I said, "What the hell is this chairs rocking for or rattling?" And that was people behind us shaking the.
Yeah, they were.
I thought maybe we were having an earthquake or something there. Well, they were into it, And that one family down to the left of us had his young. It looks like his sons or his nephews. I'm not sure, but they were having a good time. He was taking pictures and stuff like that, and really that's what it's all about. And that's one of the things I like about San Antonio. It's family.
Yep, and they love football.
Yep.
And they love Fiesta, too, because like you said, it was a decent crowd last night, but it is not as large as the crowds you and I saw for that other league, even.
Oh, no.
And the caliber of play, from what I saw last night, was infinitely better than the previous league that was here.
Oh, yeah. Well, you had Wade Phillips coaching the Brahmas and his pedigree. And I don't remember who the coach of the Michigan team was, but they were that first quarter. I thought we were going to run away with it, but they settled down.
Michigan made a lot of good adjustments, especially in the second half, because Michigan was really starting to move the ball. They were really starting to stymie our offense. But then again, once we got that good 10-point lead, it seemed like they got conservative on offense. They started running the ball more, and the defense was able to stop our runs.
But that's the game. That's why you play and your philosophy and stuff. And I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of talent out there on the fields when you look at those players. And there's some big boys too.
Yeah, we had a big O-line.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about last night, kind of changing subjects, but still staying on sports in San Antonio, this town is starving for not just football, but professional soccer.
Absolutely. And I'm surprised. I guess I never thought about it too much, but this town's really a big soccer town. What's the San Antonio?
What is the team?
I forgot the name of the team, but they have sellout crowds over there.
Oh, it's FC San Antonio.
Yeah,
or San Antonio FC.
I know early in the season they had a tournament type thing, and it was sold out the whole tournament all weekend. And the mayor was there, and a whole lot of folks, dignitaries. But you're right. I guess we're just competing too much with
Austin,
Dallas, and Houston for some reason. And Austin, because Austin got a team.
Austin has a professional MLS team. But you know what? If we can't get MLS, maybe we can get a professional women's soccer team down here.
Yeah.
That sport is growing, or not sport, but that system, the women's professional soccer, that thing is growing pretty good. They got good viewership, good numbers.
So hopefully one of these days we'll get around to it. We're the 7th or 8th largest city in the United States. You would think we would be able to.
We're the 7th. And we will soon, believe it or not, overtake Philadelphia for the 6th largest.
Yeah. So maybe one of these days, and I think you hit the nail on the head last night. We just probably don't have enough big businesses that will invest in those type of sports venues. Maybe even though we have a lot of things like the Mays family and uh,
the Butts
some of the others,
family.
yeah. So, but anyway, it was fun. I enjoyed it last night. I enjoyed all the things that we did together.
But like we were talking about last night, it's not just the big business and what they invest; it's what those big businesses pay their employees. That's why we
Exactly.
can't compete with a Houston or a Dallas, because we don't make those kind of wages. Because all of those major companies are headquartered there. So all of their VPs and GMs and all of that type of those type of employees that make that kind of money, we don't have a lot of that down here. And I think that
Exactly.
is what hurts, because we're just like a large middle class town. That's all we are, really, because we
Yeah.
don't have that next level of income.
And one side of me says, I hope we don't grow to that point because you lose some of the family values, I think, when you get so large. But it'd be nice if you could keep the family value aspect of it and get to that level, Because that's one of the things when we decided to retire here, besides being my family in Alabama and your mom's family in California type thing, we just like this area. I like the family values, the culture.
It was like a big, small town.
It was. That's like where we're living now. Hell, we were out in the country.
Yeah, you were. That's true.
Now
Didn't
it's
last long, though.
no, it didn't.
The city came and gobbled you up for your tax dollars.
Yep. So, but San Antonio is a really nice place, and it's one of the few places where philosophically I don't have a whole lot of difference of opinions of of the government process and those kind of things. So it's pretty good.
I would agree. And that's the biggest reason why Brenda and I decided to retire here, because you guys retired here, her parents retired here, and growing up, she was here, long before I got here. But in my early teenage years when we got here, this
Yeah.
became home.
Yeah. So, but it's really a nice place. And then you got a lot of nice venues around here too. You get up to the hill country. There's a lot to see of some really nice wine
And
breweries and distillers up there, and just a beautiful country to see.
yep.
When we go on those trips like that, I enjoy the scenery. I just takes me back home, takes me back to good memories, and it's not so good memories sometimes
But
too.
I don't understand how you can equate that going out into the hill country reminds you of back home, because all there is out back home is pine trees every damn where.
But it's just the atmosphere of seeing that. It makes you think about what you're
Just seeing country, rural.
exactly.
Okay.
You see a lot of homes out there that are just kind of like how you grew up, and you see a lot of farms and see those things.
They call
Some of
those
my best
ranches.
days when I was down at Victoria was driving from Victoria to Corpus every Tuesday morning and seeing all the different seasons, the cotton and the corn and all those kind of things. And, the landscape is not like what I grew up around and stuff like that, but it was the culture and, those that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
But
I guess that,
go ahead.
I guess that means I'm getting old.
Dad, you've been old a long time. You've been old a lot longer than I've been old.
That's true. Just
even when I was a little kid, you were old.
That's the way you kind of think about things, right? When my dad was, I guess he was in his 40s, I thought he was an old fart too. Didn't know
He
what the
looked
hell
like
he
an
was
old
doing.
fart, didn't he?
Yeah,
except when he wasn't dyeing his hair, because he dyed his hair.
Yeah, that was fun. He'd have a couple of false staffs and dye his hair and put that plastic bag over his head so the dye and
dye
stuff
wouldn't
would work.
run.
And then it'd be dripping down the side, and then go to the store and get some beer or something.
Now that's country folks for you right there.
Yeah. So those are just good things.
But let me tell you, man, I'm tired. I had a busy week, and I guess that's my age showing because Brenda and I went to a concert Wednesday. We saw one of my all-time favorites, Social Distortion, and Bad Religion. It was a co-headlining tour, even though Social Distortion opened prior to Bad Religion. Great show, sold out crowd. I love me some Social D. I need to turn you on to Social Distortion and Mike Ness. I gotta get you hooked into this rockabilly thing. I just love that sound, and it's very reminiscent of the music that you grew up with.
Yeah.
Which that rockabilly kind of evolved into punk, and then offshoot of punk that outgrew or grew out of that was called psychobilly, which is just punked up rockabilly. Which
Right.
means it's just really played faster.
Right.
So, I mean, like Eddie Cochran is a big hero to a lot of these guys, and you can hear the influences in their music. And it started with bands like the Cramps in the 70s, and then on into the Stray Cats and whatnot. So that was Wednesday night. Friday night, Friday night was Social Distortion. I take that back. Wednesday night, we saw Adam Ant in the English Beat. So that was like, English Beat's kind of like post new wave ska, and Adam Ant's definitely new wave and post punk. So that was Wednesday. Friday was that rockabilly thing. Then Saturday, you and I went to the football game. We got home. I stayed up a little bit later than I should have. Went to bed around 11:30, closer to 12. No sooner got to sleep, and man, that hail. Did you guys get hail and rain last night?
Not here. We got rain, but we didn't get any hail.
Oh man! At first, you could hear just a little bit of on the roof, and the dogs were like looking around.
Yeah.
And then it came down, and you could hear it hitting the glass, and the dogs were barking and going crazy. So I didn't get any sleep for like 30 minutes, trying to calm them down. And that was at 12:30, 1:30, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Then at 4:30 or 5:30, they woke up and had to go up to the bathroom. Took them out then. Then around 7:30, I'm trying to stay asleep. And them dogs, they're like, "Hey,
it's time
it's 7:30. It's time to get up. We got to eat, man. We got to eat." And I'm like, "Just leave me alone." I covered myself up with the sheet. They crawled on my head. They're scratching at my head, trying to wake me up. Like, "Get up, man. You were here a second ago. I know you're under these covers." They were digging at me, pawing at me. And I'm like, "Ugh, I can't sleep. Now I got to get up and feed y'all monsters." Having dogs is worse than children.
But I tell you what, they love you unconditional.
They do,
and they
but
don't
man,
talk back.
No, they don't. But nope. Our male miniature dachshund, he talks back. When you try to clip his nails, you think he was gonna die. He's screaming and fidgeting and like not biting you, but he'll put his mouth on you.
Right.
He's that distraught about getting his nails cut. But I got to find a way to sedate this mother because he's going crazy. His nails are so long. It can't be comfortable. But so, yeah, I'm tired, man. I ain't got a whole lot of sleep this damn week.
Yeah.
And then guess what? We got more concerts coming up next week.
Yeah, we got Blackberry Smoke Friday night.
Yep. And the night before, Brenda and I are going to go see Terry Clark in New Braunfels. So it's like back to back. I need a break, man. I need a weekend of doing nothing. And Brenda, she spent the night with her mom because today's her mom's birthday. So I'm sure she's going to come home tired too.
Yeah, we make sure we send her a big old happy birthday wish because she's a special person.
Yep, she is. So,
yeah.
But you know what? Keeping busy makes the time go by much better and much nicer.
Yeah. Both of your father-in-law and mother-in-law are just really great people. I really loved your father-in-law. We worked together there at Lackland, and he taught me a lot about, being in charge of the law enforcement thing there at the Security Police Academy. And when you're looking at budgets and how to budget and stuff like that, he sure taught me a lot of stuff. It made it easier so you could get the things that you needed to do to do what you need to do. You know, he was a pretty special guy.
So you always ask me if you forget to or right at the end because about how many downloads and whatnot. And I checked yesterday, and we had a couple of downloads, but nothing major. I mean, we're well into the 3,400. We're 3,423.
Okay, that's 20 something since last week, right?
Yeah, but overall, month to month, we're growing, and I think it has a lot to do with our consistency. We just need to get a little more focused, I guess, in our messaging and what we're going to be discussing, so we can really grow the audience and find that niche where people come back. But more importantly, still got that international reach, man. Let me tell you, we've had a download from Ireland, Ethiopia, Algeria, Australia, Cayman Islands.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yep. All up and down the East Coast, from Texas to Oklahoma to Kansas to Iowa to Minnesota, out to Oregon, Alabama, Florida, Virginia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, we're hitting all four corners. We're hitting almost all the continents.
No, that's good. And on our next one, I got two topics we're going to talk about.
For our next episode or for now?
For the next one.
Okay. You want to give us a tease?
We're going to talk about what is a son and what is a daughter.
Oh, okay.
I got some stuff on it. But
All
know what today is? Today's, in some respects, talk about music and how much you love music. You know what today is?
The day after 420?
Okay. April 21st. Prince passed away on this date, 2016.
Man, I remember.
Yeah.
I loved his music. He was a phenomenal musician.
He had 40-year career. It's hard to believe. He's 57 years old when he passed away. President Obama said few artists have influenced the sound and trajectory of popular music more distinctly or touched quite so many people with their talent. So true.
That's kind of an understatement when it comes to Prince also, though. He was bigger than a lot of people. Even the heavy metal community enjoyed Prince, his music. I don't think people really understand or appreciate the musicianship and how talented he was.
Not only that, Purple Rain, 24 consecutive weeks at number one on Billboard charts. Two hit singles, Cry and Let's Go Crazy. Won the Grammy Award for Best Rock Performance. 13 million copies sold, of course, of him and stuff like that. His music fused elements of funk, R&B, rock, and pop into what later became as the Minneapolis sound.
Yeah.
And here's something I didn't know, and you probably did. You know how many instruments he played? And he played all of them.
He could play like 5, 6, 7 instruments, I think.
How about 27?
Not shocked.
27, ranging from the piano to electric guitar to finger cymbals, but 27 instruments. He
could play the drums, guitar, bass, keyboard. Like you said, Dad, I'm telling you that he had more talent right here in this little pinky than most people have in their whole body.
Oh yeah, a phenomenal artist, and it's sad, he was taking prescription painkillers for chronic hip pain.
Yep, fentanyl is what killed him.
Yeah, and he's struggling with opioid addiction from the painkillers. And the sad part is so many artists are like that because they give so much of themselves for our entertainment.
Yeah, they do.
We don't think about it, and we don't really appreciate what they go through. And of course they're benefiting, they're making the financial aspect, but most of these artists, they're doing what they love doing. They enjoy doing that. That's why you see so many of them as they get older in age and stuff, they're still out there doing it. It's probably not so much for the money anymore. It's just, that's what they love doing. Yeah.
You touched on something right there. And I'd like to add to it another one of my favorite bands out of the metal scene. They call them, one of the big four. The big four are Slayer, Metallica, Anthrax, and Exodus. The band Anthrax, the drummer Charlie Benante, very talented guy. He suffers from carpal tunnel syndrome, and he's had surgery on his wrists and hands and whatnot. And there are times on the tour where he just can't drum, and it's really painful. So he'll have a backup drummer come out and play. But that still doesn't stop him from touring or making records. Despite the pain that he has a gift, like you said, and he just loves to play and wants to entertain. And Anthrax, they just celebrated their 40th anniversary tour a couple of years ago. 40 years of heavy metal. Judas Priest just did their 50th. Black Sabbath, they had their 50th a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And, last night on the way home, I was listening to the Grand Ole Opry on Sirius XFM. Bill Anderson, 60 years in the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah, he said that when we saw him, did we see him 2 years ago?
Yeah, at was the Brontex Theater?
Yeah, the Brontex Theater.
Yeah. Well, and see, that's another thing about this San Antonio area. There are so many venues. You got the Brontex Theater. Has a lot of artists come in. And what's the other little place there in New Braunfels?
Green Hall.
Green Hall. You got Floors, and I like the Roundup. We haven't.
They haven't done anything. I don't think they've signed their lease.
Yeah, but the venue is a nice. I just think the location hurts it. It's out in the hill country and beautiful country out there. It was just probably difficult for a lot of people to get out there and get back, especially right now with all the road construction around San Antonio and stuff. But there's just a lot of nice places around to go. Boy, at Floors, I love going to Floors. Bring family. You see the kids out there; they're having a good time. And as a general rule, you don't see a whole lot of misbehavior.
No, you don't. But I think it was 2 years ago, San Antonio opened up a brand new venue out by Port San Antonio called the Tech Port.
Uh-huh.
And it's like a 3,000 to 5,000 seat venue. And it just got sponsored by Boeing. So it's the Boeing Tech Port. I've seen quite a few shows there. That's where I saw Social Distortion just Friday night at Techport. And then another place just opened early this year in January called Stable Hall. And that's at the Pearl. That's where they used to house the Clydesdales. So they've converted that into a concert venue. So, yeah, there are venues. Man, you can't throw a rock in this town without finding someplace. What they need to bring back is the old Sunken Gardens.
Oh, yes.
That amphitheater. I had seen plans a few years ago to do like $100 million renovation, build a nice pavilion down there over the stage and make the grassy area. But I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah. What was the name of that place where we saw Wayland Son, the Waymoors?
Oh, that's Sam's Burger Joint.
That was, that's a nice little, it's just a small place.
Yeah, it's a small place. It's definitely a club.
They have some talent come through that's up and coming, and and some other talent that does pretty good. But there's just a lot of nice venues around the San Antonio area. That it's just a fun place to be.
Yeah, if you love music, I think we're going to overtake Austin when it comes to music, because what made Austin great and famous is what's killing it. Because everybody's moving there. And everybody wants to be in the downtown area close to 6th Street where all those bars used to be. Well, guess what? That's driving up the rent. 2, the developers are coming in and buying up these city blocks so they can build these high-rise condos and apartments and whatnot. So people will move there. Well, guess what? Now there's more venues.
Exactly. And
the ones that are there, they ain't going to last long because they won't be able to afford it. Yeah. And one of the last outdoor venues, Stubbs, by a certain time and in the evening, they can't play because of the noise, because of all of those apartments nearby.
Right.
That what made Austin great and made it fun is what's killing it now.
Yeah.
So
that's what
Austin people come down to San Antonio, and all you promoters, instead of booking these bands to go to Austin, book them down here.
I'm gonna tell you, San Antonio, when you look at that crowd last night, they were just everyday good old folks like us, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, but that was football.
Yeah, but it's the same. When you go to a venue, when you look around, what do you see? You see people just like you who have the same feeling about your music. When we go to floors, I see a lot of young kids. When I say young kids, everybody's young to me, right? But then you see in your age group, then you see my age group, but everybody's having a good time, friendly people, the wait staff, it's just fun places to go,
and
to
it
me,
adds to the level of enjoyment.
Yeah, it's just good old country folks to me. And even though you're living in a pretty large city, that's just the mentality and the atmosphere, So anyway, get
Hey,
off
did you
that
talk to Aunt
soapbox.
Carolyn and see if you could get her to join us on the computer? Because I still haven't figured out a way to make this thing work on my Yamaha mixing console for a call-in. Like I told you, I got to find a way to make the voice coming out and into the mixer to where you can hear it. I need to find a way for our voices to come out of the mixer back into the phone. So what comes out also has to be able to receive. So we need to be able to hear her, and she needs to be able to hear us. So I need a cable that can do both.
Okay.
So they had a cable for like Apple's when they had the Lightning, and it had two little things hanging out the back. So one would go to the in out, and the other would go into, I think, the line in.
Okay.
But so anybody, if you know how to buy or make a cable from USB to line in, line out on a mixing console, let me know so we can do phone call-ins but we can obviously on here send a link and they can join us either on camera or off camera, but at least they'll be able to hear us.
Yeah, we just send them a link, right? They can join as a guest.
Yep, they can join as a guest.
That'd be pretty cool.
Well, you got to get her to do that.
Well, I'm gonna reach out to her again this week and see. All right.
And you still haven't logged into any of our social media accounts and posted anything, have you?
Yeah.
No, you haven't. Don't lie. Don't quibble. Don't equivocate. And it ain't like you gotta go to work or do anything.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting up on that time. We're getting up on that time. Carolyn's gonna send me an email or text message.
All right. So, Aunt Carolyn, if you're listening, we want to see you or hear you at least. So you need to join via computer. So quit ducking and dodging us.
And I'm gonna tell you, next time we talk, I'm gonna talk about you and how I feel about you, good, bad, or indifferent, or ugly. And I'm gonna talk about your sister. So we're gonna talk about sons and daughters. I'm gonna tell you, I just got some really good quotes and things like that I think most fathers will feel the same way that I do about those two issues of having sons and daughters.
All right. Well, get on the social medias and share that as well.
I know you don't have any sons, but you have some daughters.
I got 3 of them.
Blessed that I have a son and a daughter, and I have a whole bunch of granddaughters and great granddaughters.
That you do.
Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about next time.
All right. So I guess it's about time to wrap this thing up.
Well, I will, and tell Brenda to tell her mother happy birthday for us, and we hope she has a good day, and we love her.
All right. We love you too, and we love her. We love everybody. We love you, people. Thank you for continuing to listen to us, download us. Even if you stumbled across us and you clicked off, hey, thanks for at least trying.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. You too, Dad. Love you.
See you Friday night. Love you, man.
See you too. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a good